Good Saturday. I'm meteorologist Kara Thompson with the latest weather update. And for this midday, I am joined by Chief Meteorologist Patrick McKee. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Hi, Kara. Good to see you.
Yeah, we're getting our shifts in and everything like that, making
We
sure that
are.
we're all covered as far as the winter, weather is concerned. And I know one of the big things we were kind of watching out for as we were coming into work for today was kind of those road conditions. What did you see?
Yeah, when I woke up this morning around 9:30 or so, everything was covered. It was a sea of white everywhere. But then as the intensity started backing off into the Roanoke Valley, you started seeing more and more of the road coming through. The road kind of stores heat. It's a principle in weather we call albedo. White bodies, white surfaces, they reflect light. They don't absorb that heat as much. But things like asphalt, black, absorbs that. So the roads have kind of held some heat in. And once you stop putting stuff on top of it, that heat starts coming through and melting it up.
Yeah.
And we've kind of cleared it off. Problem's going to be they're wet.
Yes, they're very wet right now.
Temperatures are in the teens. So one thing that could help us is wind picking up. Maybe try to dry them off. But if it doesn't in time, things are going to get slick quickly as we go later on today.
I was going to say, especially, overnight hours tonight and temperatures continuing to drop, we may have to keep our eyes out for that black ice potential even as we head into Sunday. So, there's still going to be some lingering effects of the snow here in our area. Even if we don't see that much in the way of snow, it's still going to cause some of those travel impacts.
And for churches in the morning, I know a number have already called off services or are going online. We got the list up on our website, WFXRTV.com. Go to the weather tab and then closings and delays, and you'll find that list there.
Yeah.
So check ahead before you go. If you don't have to go out, best advice would be staying inside.
Yeah.
It's cold.
I was going to
Who
say,
wants to go out in this?
It is really, really cold and just, damp and kind of dreary overall. So, yeah, stay inside. It's a soup weather type of day, just stay warm and cozy.
And it is, but if you have to go out, clear your car off first.
Definitely.
It's easy. It's a really powdery snow. So, I mean, literally, it just comes right off.
I was going to say, this morning, I honestly turned on my windshield wipers real quick because I knew it was that powdery snow and it just all went away. But make sure to clean off the top of your cars as well. We don't need all that snow flying up into the vehicle behind you.
No, we don't. Please clear your cars off. And be safe if you have to go out.
Definitely. Give yourself extra time to get to where you need to go and everything like that. So let you go, Patrick.
I'm going to duck out. Have fun.
Definitely. We will have some fun here. Talk about all the snow in our region and even taking a look at our radar right now. We are seeing more of that snow overall as we go along and then south of US 460, some off and on light snow showers into the Roanoke Valley as well as central Virginia. As we start to move further toward the south side as well as the New River Valley, the snow has been a little bit more widespread and kind of persistent as well. And that's where we're looking at some of the higher snowfall totals. Just taking a quick look at some of those totals right now, heading toward southern Henry County near the Ridgeway area, a report of 4 inches of snow. As we get closer to Danville, 2 inches of snow. Going towards Pulaski, 4 inches of snow. The Wytheville area, about 3.5 inches of snowfall being reported. Hillsville, 3 inches of snow as well. So overall, we are noticing the trend of snowfall totals anywhere from 2 to even 4 inches as we start to move closer to the Virginia, North Carolina line. And as we start to move a little bit further toward the north, let's look at Roanoke. The Roanoke area with the last report that they put in, just under an inch as we head towards Lynchburg. Also looking at snowfall totals, less than 1/2 of an inch for the most part across much of the central Virginia area. Just a few isolated spots that have seen more snow. For example, near Bedford, about 1/2 an inch of snowfall. Catawba, 3 inches of snow. So it's really all dependent on where you live. I have noticed as we start to go further north, if we do see some of those higher snowfall totals, it's more so at those higher elevations near Merrimack, outside of Blacksburg, 2.5 inches of snow. So still going to keep an eye on things. This has never been expected to be a big wintry weather event. But with that being said, it's still going to cause impacts even when it comes to just those light snowfall totals. Now, here's a look at our winter weather alerts that we're going to be in effect through your Sunday. We still have the winter weather advisory for central Virginia as well as portions of the Roanoke Valley. And then we have that winter storm warning. That's as we head into Southside Virginia as well as the New River Valley. The main thing is in the purple and pink highlighted areas, accumulating snowfall is expected, and it is going to create those slippery road conditions on sidewalks, roadways, Temperatures, for the most part, are below freezing, so any snow that does fall is sticking. You want to make sure to give yourself extra time to get to where you need to go and just take it slow out there. Lower your speed just a little bit. Good news is we are seeing a little bit of melting on those roadways, especially in high traffic areas. And speaking of traffic, we have been noticing more of those snow plows as well. The snow is going to be easy to plow up because it is so powdery in nature. It's not like that ice we had earlier this week that really has been a challenge for those cleanup crews when it comes to the sidewalks and roadways. So good news right there, but still make sure you're using caution as you head out and about. Now let's go ahead, take a wider look at that satellite and radar. Right now, what we've been tracking is this low pressure system that's off the coast of the Carolinas. Now, we've been seeing some flakes fly towards the Outer Banks. Winds have definitely been picking up. And as this storm system moves away from our region, we will notice those winds picking up in our area as well. But for right now, this coastal low, it's helping to give us some of that snow. It's throwing moisture into the Commonwealth of Virginia. And because of the cold air in place, that's what's giving us that wintry precipitation. The only thing we're going to be battling with when it comes to our snow potential, it's going to be drier air aloft. For today and into your Sunday, we're going to have increasing northwesterly flow. Air from the northwest typically is not only colder, but it's also drier, and that drier air will eat away at some of that moisture, and that's why this is mainly a light snowfall event and not necessarily widespread across the Commonwealth. So going into our snowfall totals, overall, Roanoke, Lynchburg into Lexington and Covington, as we start to go north of US 460, we're expecting a trace to maybe 2 inches of snow in some spots. Isolated higher amounts are possible, but I believe that's more so likely at higher elevations. Think towards the Catawba area. As we get closer to Benton Mountain, those snowfall amounts are possibly a bit higher. Now, as we go south of US 460, Southside Virginia into the New River Valley, I would say blanketed a 2 to 4 inch scenario for today. However, some higher snowfall totals are possible where we continue to see more of that persistent snow. So toward portions of Southside, especially closer to the Virginia-North Carolina line. And then as we head towards I-77, we could see some isolated spots receiving 4 to even 7 inches of snowfall. But regardless, whether you see 5 inches of snow or you see just a trace of snow, still want to use caution as you head out and about. Now let's talk about the futurecast when it comes to the timing of this snow. As we head into your Saturday afternoon and evening, we are expecting our snow chances to decrease across our region from west to east. And because we'll have some of that drier air moving in as well, that's going to fight with some of that snow. For some places, you may start to notice that snowy weather wrapping up a little bit sooner. Now this is 9:15 p.m. for your Saturday. Still dealing with some snow possible towards Southside Virginia and the New River Valley. Elsewhere though, it's coming to an end. And by your Sunday morning, this is 6 a.m. Not expecting any snow, rain, sleet, or freezing rain, which is good news for anyone who is heading out and about. But like Patrick was saying earlier, I know a lot of people are maybe heading to church. Maybe you're heading out to grab some brunch. You want to make sure that those businesses are open tomorrow. The same can be said with those churches, just because we still could be dealing with those slippery conditions on those roadways, especially if we start to see more of that black ice. We'll have to keep our eyes out for that, especially when it comes to secondary roads and then more of those back roads as well that might not have been treated. The dry weather will continue throughout the day on Sunday, and for your Monday, good deal of sunshine ahead. Not expecting many issues weather-wise other than our next main focus, which is going to be those winds. Now, as we continue to head later into your Saturday and especially into Sunday, it is going to be gusty at times. Wind gusts anywhere from 30 to 40 miles per hour are possible, and at higher elevations, we could be dealing with those stronger wind gusts. Those winds only start to subside a little bit more as we head into the day on Monday. Now, with that potential for gusty winds, we do have wind advisories that will go into effect later today and continue through your Sunday afternoon for Roanoke, Floyd, as well as Carroll and Grayson counties. This is where we have a greater chance for those gusts up to 50 miles per hour. Now, I really want to stress there is the chance we may have some power outages, but it is not going to be because of the snow that is falling for today. It's going to be because of that chance for gusty winds. It may down some tree limbs. We'll have to keep an eye out for that as we head into your Sunday. But another thing with those winds is it's going to make it feel bitterly cold outside. Here's a look at our hour-by-hour forecast when it comes to temperatures and wind chills in our regions. As we head into the overnight hours tonight and into early Sunday morning, our air temperatures will likely be anywhere from the single digits and into the teens. But factoring in those blustery winds, it's going to feel like it is sub-zero across southwest and central Virginia, and especially into the New River Valley and Allegheny Highlands, we could be dealing with wind chill values as low as 25 below zero. That is bitterly cold and extreme cold at that, so definitely want to make sure that you're bundling up. By your Sunday afternoon, high temperatures will range anywhere from the upper teens and into the lower 30s, but those blustery winds will still make it feel like it's anywhere from the single digits and into the 20s. Now, with these cold conditions, we have an extreme cold warning that's in effect for counties that are along and west of the Blue Ridge. That's where we have a greater chance for wind chill values anywhere between 15 to 25 below zero. We also have a cold weather advisory that's for Lynchburg, as well as the counties of Appomattox, Campbell, Charlotte, Halifax, Pittsylvania, and Henry counties. That's where we could have wind chill values as low as 5 below zero. Regardless, if you're heading out and about, especially Sunday morning, you need to make sure that you're bundling up. Put on the gloves, put on the warm scarf, the hat, and of course that thicker coat, just to keep those cold winds away from your body, and hopefully you can retain some of that body heat as well. I know a lot of the kiddos, they may want to go and play in the snow tomorrow. It is a fluffy, very workable snow that we're looking at for today. However, you need to make sure they're bundled up and probably want to make sure you're limiting their time outside as well. Another thing with these cold conditions, please make sure that you're checking up on your furry friends, that they have adequate ways to stay warm. Bring them inside would probably be best. They want to stay warm and cozy with you for sure. Now, let's talk a little bit more about kind of our wrap-up when it comes to our hazards that we're dealing with for this weekend. So we have the snow expected. It's not necessarily going to be widespread, persistent across our region, but where we are expecting more of those impacts is especially going to be the case as we head south of US 460. So south side, New River Valley, that's where we're looking at more of the impacts when it comes to this powdery snow. Snow-covered roadways are possible, so drivers, just give yourself extra time to get to where you need to go safely. Take it slow out there. Now, our next issue is going to be the gusty winds, and I think that will be more of an impact for our region Saturday night into your Sunday, especially when it comes to those sub-zero wind chill values that we're expecting as we head more so into your Sunday morning. So be prepared to bundle up. I will say at least good news is a little bit of a warm-up is on the way. As we take a quick look at our tracking the cold, overall we are expecting those cold conditions to stick around in our forecast for this weekend. We're still getting that Arctic air, but notice the coldest of that air starts to retreat away from our area as we head into your Monday. It's still going to feel like winter outside, but at least we will be warming up above the freezing mark starting on Monday, continuing through much of the week, as high temperatures will be anywhere from the 30s and even into the 40s. So just the fact that we are warming up above freezing, that is going to help to melt that snow and ice that's been sticking around for this past week. Now, I will make mention of Wednesday real quick. We are keeping our eyes on a storm system that has the chance to bring us some wintry mix. There's still a lot of uncertainties when it comes to this part of the forecast, so for now we have showers possible. We'll continue to provide updates as we head later into the week. But going back to our wintry weather, we want to see what it looks like outside your door. We would love to see your photos and videos, and you can share them with us. Just head to our Report It tab on WFXRTV.com. It's at the right-hand top corner of your screen. Just click on that. It's going to take you to a screen where you can upload those photos and videos, and you may see them on air, online, or even here on our app as well. Now, with that being said, we want to make sure that everyone is staying safe out there. So if you want to take those photos, just make sure to watch your step as you head out and about, but otherwise we would love to see them. Now, we're going to continue to provide hourly updates as the day goes along. You're going to be seeing myself, Chief Meteorologist Patrick McKee, and also Meteorologist Brandon Lashbrook throughout the day, and you can always find those updates on air and online at WFXRTV.com. Stay warm and safe, everybody.